facilities to be an accessory dwelling unit, whether or not someone is living there or not. And that's the reason it's before you as an accessory dwelling unit. Happy to answer any questions, and I think there is a representative from the company available to answer any questions as well.
Any questions for Logan? Okay. Open to the applicant or the representative for the applicant.
How are y'all today?
You can come up, sir.
Oh, okay. Hello. Are y'all just asking if I have any comments,
Well,
questions?
it's really, usually when an applicant comes up, they kind of explain what they're trying to do.
Yes, sir.
Just,
Okay. So as Logan explained to you guys, they already have an existing structure in place when they purchased the house a number of years ago. And the expansion that we are trying to do would follow every requirement by the city except for the rear setback. And we do believe this would greatly increase property value in the area, as a lot of houses are being redone in this area. With the house having such a small footprint, it would greatly help the family out living there as well. They've got a large family.
and so y'all are just trying to do a studio, like, I guess, an apartment or just a,
So currently, it's just used as an office, and they're trying to just add on a bathroom and a storage room.
gotcha. Okay. Any questions for the applicant? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. Open to public discussion. Close public discussion, open to board discussion.
Logan, did you hear from any of the neighbors?
Did not receive any correspondence.
Have y'all talked to the neighbors? Especially the one behind you? Sure.
Sir, have you spoken to any of the neighbors?
No, I'm the homeowner, my wife, the Hardens. We have not.
Gotcha.
So I think this is unique because it's an existing legal nonconformity. This isn't expanding the nonconformity. They do mention in their application that the slope of the yard requires the addition to be added on the side rather than on the front. I wish the neighbors had been consulted, but they were notified, so.
I'll move to approve PL 2021-00268, variance of 12 feet at the minimum required 42-foot rear yard setback to allow a rear yard setback of 30 feet for an accessory dwelling unit.
Ross Rollins,
Yes.
Kim White,
Yes.
Clint Wilson,
Yes.
Letitia Khalid.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Jay?
The next case in front of you is a variance for front setbacks located at 121 South Ryan Street in the NC 12 zoning district. You can see here in the prox map, it's located on the South Ryan Street, just north of East Thatch Avenue. It's surrounded with other residential properties of the similar zoning district. The Charleston Place subdivision is immediately to its rear, and you have the urban neighborhood east off to the west of it, off of DeBartoleben. The specific request is a variance of 1 foot 8 inches to the minimum required 30-foot front yard setback for this zoning district. This is the NC 12 zoning district, if I haven't said that already. The applicant's current structure is right up at the setback currently. There's a exposed front stoop in front of the house that the owner would like to put a covered roof on top of, and would prefer to have his support structures placed in front of the stoop. In doing so, though, it's going to put it, he will be in violation of the setback, therefore he needs the variance. A couple of other alternatives could be to place the supports at the top of the stoop. There's a 3-foot overhang allowance that the city does allow, which you could take advantage of. That said, he based on his design that he's preferring, he'd like to keep it to the front. And have a couple of pictures. This is the design that he was talking about. This is the existing structure. You can see the front stoop there with where the flower pots are is an approximate location of where those support structures would go. This front view, the same. The proposed picture is another picture that's provided by the applicant of the same street, similar structure. One difference there being that the supports in this picture are at the top of the stoop instead of at the bottom. Now, there is some unique circumstances with the size of the street that it's on. The South Rhine Street is a local collector, or excuse me, is a local street, which are typically 50 feet in width for right-of-way, and in this case, it's 60 feet. And the pavement itself, though, is of a standard local street, which means that there's more yard on either side of the pavement that's taken up in city property as opposed to the homeowner's property. That being said, the property itself does conform with the lot size minimums that's required for the zoning district.
But this is not what he wants to do.
The purpose, I think, of the picture that he provided was to show the extent of the roof overhang coming directly and limited to the stoop only, as opposed to being a larger front expansion of the house.
Can you go back to that one?
This one?
The one that he prefers, or that the owner prefers?
This.
Oh, that is the
yes,
preferred. What
yes.
was the one
The
before?
drawing,
The drawing?
Oh, so that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, he's showing that to show us that he doesn't want to expand the house 3 feet or 1 foot, but
That's
whatever
correct.
it is, he just wants to stoop.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
But it is different because in the picture, the columns are actually on the top and he's wanting them,
That's correct.
okay, so.
The applicant is here, so depending on your questions.
Okay. Any comments from the applicant?
Yes, please. Hi, my name's Bob Douglas. I appreciate your time this afternoon. Jay's pictures on the video are better than mine, but I've got some black and whites that show you what I've been
thank you.
working on in my mind for 8 years. We bought this home in 2013, did a modest remodel that included adding that stoop. And I've been struggling with what I wanted the covering of the porch to look like. And it's a modest home, as you see, and I was a little concerned that if I put a traditional porch roof over that front stoop, it would be somewhat akin to slamming a deer stand up against my double-wide trailer and might not create quite the image I was looking for. So what you see in the front on the first page is the house that we bought 8 years ago. Page 2 shows the initial renovation where we pushed the living room out over what had been a recessed front porch when we originally bought it to create a little additional interior space, and that necessitated building the stoop out front. The total extension of the stoop is 75 inches off the front of the house. 51 inches of that is up on the top level of the stoop. What I eventually fell in love with was this house at 227 Payne Street. And that's really the look we're trying to create, and I think will be an advantage to the neighborhood to create a more vintage look for Ryan Street. Payne's obviously a very desirable vintage neighborhood, and I think given our relative proximity to that neighborhood, if we can kind of continue those themes on Ryan, it'd be a good thing. Our neighbors are, because of this, very supportive of the project, and they too feel it would enhance the neighborhood if we could make this addition. One of my son-in-laws is much better at technology than I am, so he photoshopped the covering from the Payne Street house onto our home on Ryan, and that's what you see pictured here. But as Jay was detailing, what we would like to do is move the posts out along the flankers towards the leading edge of the stoop. And those two 8-inch posts would therefore come forward of the setback line by 1 foot 8 inches. May not need all 20 inches, might get away with 17 or 18, but my builder has been working with John Hoare, I believe is the sort of the permuting guru. And in order to properly secure those posts against wind lift, we're going to have to partially deconstruct the stoop, take some bricks off the top, fill the concrete blocks below with some concrete. And so I don't know quite how many bricks we're going to have to peel off the stoop and how those are going to go back, so I can't quite be precise. But I suspect if 2 inches made a difference to you, we could probably live with an 18-inch variance instead of 20. I would all further submit that in the way of hardship, I think we were lucky at the time we built the stoop. We were able to find some old brick, once again trying to create that vintage feel. And one of the charming things about old brick is stuff lives in it. And so if every now and then I don't pressure wash it, it gets a little mossy and slimy and that sort of thing. And that's the reason I'd like to cover not only the top of the stoop, but also the steps. If I could keep that from the rain laying on those living organisms and helping feed them, I would have less of a slip hazard on the stoop, and I think create a good look for the neighborhood. You see my highly precise schematic is the last page, I believe. And you can see that I've, with dotted line, indicated where the zoning setback line would be, and I would simply like to move those two 8-inch posts 20 inches forward towards the street. Those posts would then be, as Jay pointed out, 43 feet, 4 inches off the curb because of that additional 15-foot right-of-way that Ryan requires. So I think that is our request. If there are questions, I'd be happy to respond.
So the stoop in this photo,
Yes.
like the actual bricks, those are gonna be as pictured. We're just adding columns and a roof.
Correct. When you see the smaller pots up there on the, what I call the flankers on either side of the steps, that's where the columns would be.
Okay.
The other thing I might add is because of that deeper setback off the curb, we've got some foundation plantings and some grass up close to the house. We've probably got about 20, 25-foot wide natural area in the front of the house that probably has populated by 12 or 15 trees. So the house will not feel like it's sitting on top of the curb or passing motorists or our neighbors across the street. Any other questions I might respond to? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas.
Thank you.
Clint, I did fail to mention that I did hear from the neighbor to the south, and they
Okay.
were spoken in support of the application.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Nobody against.
Nobody against.
Gotcha. Thank you. Open to public discussion. Okay, close the public discussion / hearing. Open the board discussion.
RJ, that was my fault. I started asking questions, so.
I mean, I think it looks,
I don't have any questions. I think he did a great job with the
Yeah.
presentation, the packet that he presented as well.
Well, and I think that the row on North Ryan being so, not excessive, but robust is kind of a unique situation.
Thought it was well thought out and well presented.
Absolutely.
all right, you want me to do it?
Nope.
All right, I'll move to approve PL 2021-00283, variance for 1 foot 8 inch to the minimum required 30-foot front yard setback to allow a front yard setback of 28 feet 4 inches.
Second.
Ross Rollins. Kim White. Clint Wilson.
Yes.
Letitia Khalif.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me also thank Jay for his help in guiding me through the application process.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda, the applicant could not
Right.
attend the meeting tonight, so they have asked to table it.
Okay.
So that will need to be considered by you guys for the next meeting.
So, any other business?
No, sir?
Guess we are adjourned.
Y'all need to table
Yeah.
that.
We,
We
sorry.
move to table?
Yeah, I'll move to table PL 2021-00293 to next month's meeting, July 7th.
Second.
Ross Rollins.
Yes.
Kim White.
Yes.
Clint Wilson.
Yes.
Letitia Khalif.
Yes.
Anything else? All right, we are adjourned. Tap.
There we go.